Hey guys, it's Luke Johnson from the philosophy teaching app Noetic. Go download it for your iPhone and Droid. Something I wanted to tell you about today is I delved back into the RTS mobile app, and the reason why I did this is that I have been doing so many Kierkegaard reviews and consuming so much Kierkegaard audio source material that I was becoming worried that the understanding of Hegel in those sources is a caricature. I don't even know how many people who seriously study Kierkegaard have a really firm grasp of Hegel. And that's not to slight the people that are doing Kierkegaardian research. It's just that there's something almost ineffable about what Hegel's doing. Sometimes even the things he said to himself, I'm sure he didn't even understand. And so I've taken upon myself to try to find out who the real Hegel was. And I didn't really know where to start. So the first place I started was going back to this RTS mobile app. It's served me pretty well in the past. And lo and behold, they did have 2 lectures up there, so far that I found, by someone who I've given props to before, Dr. Ron Nash. And I have a complicated sort of relationship with Nash. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I'm talking about our intellectual relationship. On the one hand, it drives me a little bit batty that he is very prejudicial and very biased in his interpretation and his politics and what he infuses into certain lectures. But I also think it makes him really endearing. Which makes it kind of sad because I realized when I went into the RTS mobile app that these are legacy courses, meaning that Dr. Nash has died. And I felt some sadness listening to these lectures today. It's a little bit like watching a movie. And an old movie, and you know you're watching the young version of people who are really, really old now or dead. The person is simultaneously alive and dead. It's sort of off-putting. It made me feel sad because I felt like I had gotten to know Dr. Nash. But on to the content. What's good about what Dr. Nash has done in these 2 Hegel lectures is that he's done something that I don't think I've ever experienced before. He has taken the time to briefly demarcate Hegel from Kant, kind of outline some of the major dissimilarities between the 2 thinkers. And I think that's really helpful, although now I'm going to have to go back and in order to properly understand Kierkegaard, I have to understand Hegel, and to properly understand Hegel, I have to understand Kant. It's going to be a massive undertaking. So I thought that was really good about this. He specifically dwells on the antinomies of reason and how Hegel thinks he overcomes them. I think what else is sort of interesting about this from the perspective of doing Kierkegaard research is I always thought that the influence of Hegel on Kierkegaard was, whereas Hegel emphasized the state, the unfolding of the world spirit, and neglected the role of the individual, and Kierkegaard was responding against that. What I think I'm realizing in revisiting Hegel here is that maybe Kierkegaard took some of his methodology from Hegel. The fact that things unfold in stages on a world historical level for Hegel might be something that Kierkegaard borrowed and talked about the unfolding of the self in stages. Specifically stages on life's way. Instead of talking about stages on history's way, we're talking about stages on the way of the individual. And that's kind of a fascinating parallel to me that never really dawned on me before, and I can't believe it didn't. And I think the other virtue of Nash's talks is, though he's very prejudiced and very biased and really dislikes Hegel, he does offer a serious critique of Hegel, specifically how Hegel can be a rhetorical gift to totalitarians. And he is not saying anything Nash is not saying anything that other respected philosophers who don't have a Christian agenda or something like that haven't said. Specifically Simone de Beauvoir. Simone de Beauvoir has this precise problem with Hegel, and she is a secularist. She's not a Christian like Kierkegaard, and she's not a very right-wing Hegelian or anything like that. She's a secular existentialist. So there's something to what Nash says if it coheres with what Simone de Beauvoir says. So go check it out. It's on the RTS mobile app. I'm a big fan of it. I love a lot of the stuff up there. And download the Noetic app while you're at it, and you'll start to see how all this stuff is going to fit together in the courses that I build for you. And yeah, there's some more stuff coming. Stay in tune, or stay in touch, stay tuned, subscribe. Thanks.